We know what the richest companies on earth are, but what about those organizations that don't make Forbes, but instead end up on another type of list, like the FBI's Most Wanted? Some criminal organizations make billions of dollars annually and have stations all over the globe. What are these criminal organizations and how do they operate? Stay to the end to find out the richest criminal organization in the world. It might help you to stay in the know. Welcome back to Luxury Land. If you're new, it's not criminal to hit that subscribe button and crush that like button. It supports us and allows us to keep inspiring you by making the luxury content you deserve. Number 10. MEDELLIN Cartel. I know you've heard of this organization, especially if you watch Netflix. At its prime, the MEDELLIN Cartel was easily the most powerful and coordinated drug cartel in the world. Founded by Pablo Escobar, in the 1980s, the Medellin cartel generated $60 million a day from the cocaine trade and was responsible for 85% of the cocaine entering the United States. The cartel was believed to generate $20 billion annually from cocaine, and Pablo Escobar himself was said to have a $30 billion net worth at the time of his death. This amount is really $60 billion when adjusted for inflation today. Number 9. The Gulf Cartel. One of the oldest criminal organizations in Mexico, the Gulf Cartel still traffics drugs throughout the US and Europe. This cartel is known for its ugly violence and kidnapping and is involved in every possible criminal activity imaginable. These guys suffered the most from anti-drug agencies but are still worth $9 billion. Number 8. Camorra. Italian criminal organizations in the US have dwindled down, but they're still very much thriving in Italy. Worth $4.9 billion on paper, the Camorra cartel has no official head, and the Italian local governments are still involved with mafia groups. Mafia activities generate $33 billion annually, and it all goes to the 4 major gangs, with Camorra being one of the biggest. The Camorra was formed in the 1600s by amateur criminals, but with lots of ill-intentioned hard work and criminal determination, became the politicians' answer to overthrowing the monarchy in the 1800s. After this, the Camorra used gambling, trafficking, and counterfeiting to build power, and by this time, it was too late for the government to step in. They've since went international and have a chokehold over the waste management systems in Naples. Number 7. The Sinaloa Cartel. Another cartel that might be your Netflix favorite, but in real life, the Sinaloa Cartel is nothing to play with. The Sinaloa Cartel took the Medellin cartel's place as the largest cartel in the world. They serve as the middleman between South America drug producers and the American consumers. The Sinaloa cartel is said to rake in $3 billion per year annually, but it is definitely more. Why? Because the cartel controls 60% of the total drug revenue in the world, and that revenue is anywhere between $6 and $500 billion. That's why. The cartel was created by the infamous El Chapo Guzman, who started from nothing and became the head honcho of the biggest cartel in the world. He even controlled the cartel in jail and while on the run. That's pretty gangster. Number 6. Ndrangheta. Ndrangheta is one of the crucial members of the global network of the Italian mafia. Established in the 19th century in Calabria, Italy, these guys are also known for the cocaine trade. Making $4.5 billion on paper, this organization formed international alliances with South American cocaine traffickers and are known for their good relationships with other criminal organizations. They're known to choose amicable decisions over violence, which makes them many allies, and also makes it harder for the authorities to bust them. On a casual day, you can catch this criminal conglomerate money laundering billions into legal businesses. Number 5. Yamaguchi Gumi. Here's an SAT analogy. So the Yakuza is to Japan what the Italian Mafia is to Italy, capiche? So for example, Camorra is part of the Italian Mafia, and the Yamaguchi Gumi is part of the Yakuza. The Yamaguchi Gumi is one of the strictest criminal organizations in the world, so strict that if you break a rule, you'll get your finger cut off in a ritual called yubitsume. So I'd say stepping out of line doesn't happen too frequently over there. The Yamaguchi Gumi is the largest faction in the Yakuza and was founded in 1916 by Harakuchi Yamaguchi. And that sounds like it would be a very catchy song. The organization has 20,400 members and 18,000 affiliates, and their money comes from extortion, gambling, stock market manipulation, and the sex industry. All this brings them in about $6.6 billion annually. Number 4. Solntsevskaya Bratva. The Solntsevskaya Bratva is Russia's most powerful mafia, bringing in $8.5 billion annually through money laundering, drug dealing, and contract killing. Their organization is unique in that it has 9,000 members divided into 10 separate brigades that operate on their own. But these factions come together when they need to combine their resources. The money is overseen by a 12-person council that meets in different parts of the world under the guise of casual celebrations. They're also believed to be engaged in the Afghan heroin trade, as Russia consumes 12% of the world's heroin with just 0.5% of the world's population. Number 3. D Company. The D Company is one of the more egregious criminal enterprises on this list, as Dawood Ibrahim is number 3 on the FBI most wanted list for his support of terrorism. The D Company was created in Mumbai in the 70s to ship heroin and opium, but later expanded to support Al-Qaeda. The organization is said to make $6.7 billion per year, but it's more likely more than that because they found Osama before even finding this guy. So you know the paper trail is hidden. The D Company was behind the 1993 Mumbai bomb blast, and as the FBI, CIA, and Interpol can't find him, he's still controlling his operation from behind the scenes. Number 2. La Cosa Nostra. The most admired criminal organization ever, referred to simply as the Mafia. La Cosa Nostra was founded in the 1800s in Sicily as a prison gang. After time, the gang moved to more places of influence due to the political instability of the time. They even worked with the Italian government to carry out assassinations. That's GOAT-level corruption. Then, Mussolini came into power, and fascism really puts a damper on the criminal lifestyle, so they fled to the US and Canada. Here, they were free to do all the extortion, gambling, racketeering, and prostitution they wanted. Today, La Cosa Nostra has 25,000 members globally and 250,000 affiliates that rake in $50 billion annually. Number 1. The Triads. Not to be confused with Chinese gangs, the Triads operate from Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, but have since expanded all throughout the globe. They have their hand in a lot of things, but their major trade is human trafficking. The Triads move 100,000 people around the world yearly, with a dash of drug transportation and racketeering. The Triads are mostly decentralized, so no one knows how their money moves and no one knows how much they have. You might assume you're talking to a low-ranking member of the Triads who might in all actuality be a powerful member. The Triads have laundered $5.4 billion in Vancouver alone, and even though we don't know exactly how much they have, we know they are the wealthiest criminal organization in the world today. These are the richest criminal organizations in the world, but don't get any ideas. We're going to get to $1 billion together legally. It's way less stressful that way. Plus, I want to keep my fingers. Are there any organizations I missed? Please let me know in the comments below. Click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen, and thanks for visiting Luxury Land.